And today we are taking a trip on the RER train. That's a suburban type of train. It starts out like a metro in the heart of the city, running underground. And then it goes at surface level out into the suburbs. And there are millions of commuters who use the RER, but we're not commuting. We're going to see Disney. There's the Disney Village. We're heading for Disneyland Paris. This is really an amazing attraction. And we're going to share with you a few tips on how to get the most out of your visit. And then on in through the gates into Main Street, USA. Funny to see Main Street, USA here in France, but of course that's the game. Everything is patterned pretty much after the models in California and in Florida. Once you're inside the park, all of the major attractions and rides are no additional charge, of course, unless you want to buy some balloons or buy some food. We'll show you a restaurant later on. Everything else is free and open, the rides, the attractions, the exhibits. The only price you pay is sometimes waiting online. It can get a little crowded, of course. Obviously, the most crowded times would be in the summer and on the weekends. So if you can possibly come during a weekday, and better yet, come late in the day, and if you can, come in the off-season, then you'll have less chance of crowds. You can feed the geese or shoot the targets here. It's a fun shooting gallery for kids as well as adults, mostly kids. But the park is fun for all ages. So if you're not a kid, don't let that stop you from coming out here and having some fun. Frontierland was a gas, and you walk through these environments that seem very real. Across a suspension bridge, past a little hidden stream in the jungle, and pirate ships. They have some of the familiar rides and exhibits that you may have seen previously at Disneyland, and then there's some new ones. Big Thunder Mountain is one of their roller coasters, and it's a riot. Let's take you on a quick ride through Big Thunder Mountain. Well, that was so much fun. We're going to do it again a little bit later on. Adventureland takes you on a trip into the Middle East or into the Kasbah somewhere. It's quite an atmosphere they've created in each of their different themed areas in the park. Adventure Island is another one of those little spots. You go out across these different bridges. It's like a trip back to Africa. Discoveryland is the city of the future, and inside there's a wonderful voyage with Jules Verne. He takes you on a quick trip through the history of technology and on into the future. And this part of the show is happening while you're just waiting to get into the main event, which is a projected film, 360 degrees all around you, and it is really spectacular. You just get immersed right into the action. Let's take a look.
Tu pourras dire que tu l'as vu grandir.
Fais quelque chose, le blanc enchanté. Je suis pas avec toi.
Mais arrête de râler tout le temps.
The world spins by. Back to Paris. We'll be taking you back to Paris shortly in the program. In a few minutes, we will be returning to the city to continue our tour of Paris with some students from Punahou School. As we fly over Mont Saint-Michel and Neuschwanstein and the remote valleys of Switzerland, it's like flying over all the highlights of Europe. And on into outer space. One of the neat attractions in Discoveryland. There's some rides out front. And of course, everywhere you turn, there's always opportunities for shopping. Well, that Big Thunder Mountain was so much fun. We are going back again for another ride. Some of our Punahou students out for a good time here. up and around, down and around, and up and around, and down and around again. It's about a 5-minute ride. You might have to wait 20 or 30 minutes online before you get on the line, but it's worth it. It's the Big Thunder Mountain in Frontierland. Good thing we're doing this before dinner. After this ride, it's a safe time to eat, so we're going to head over to the steakhouse and have a meal and chat with our students about their park experiences.
Space Mountain, the Star Tours.
We're gonna go on the driving thing, but it was too slow, so we gave that up. Space Mountain. I like Enigma and roller coaster.
Really scary. And Pirates of the Caribbean. That was scary too. Scary, yeah. We're going on Thunder Mountain and Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Autotopia. Star Tours.
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, The Haunted House, Star Tours.
Yeah, we had fun. Actually, I like the Star Wars thing because it was like whoa.
Okay, let's go over to Star Tours. This is a motion simulator ride. You strap yourself in and then your seat goes bouncing all around. You don't really go anywhere, but you're pitching and yawing, and the movie makes it seem like you're going a million miles an hour. We come out into the darkness. Evening has set in upon us. It's kind of nice in the evening. There's beautiful lights, and the park stays open till 11 o'clock. Most of the rides start shutting down about 10 p.m. And as we'll show you, at the end of the evening, they have an electric parade. However, if you're going back to Paris by the RER train, you might as well just skip this parade and beat the crowd and head over to the RER train station, which is just a few hundred yards away from the front entrance to the park. If you wait until the parade is over, there'll be many thousands of people all leaving at the same time, some of whom are going to be getting on that train, and you might not have a seat for the 1-hour ride back into Paris. And so as the parade begins at about 10:30, that's a good time to leave.